Hi, I'm Trey Carney, and I'll be doing my speech on fashion and hip hop throughout the years. And I know a little something about hip hop because I make music myself. Stream IC on all platforms. So now we'll start with the 80s. Hip hop was founded in 1973, but it didn't become like big. I grabbed them become big household names to the 80s. And I'll say the biggest household name in the 80s is probably Run DMC. And they were actually the first hip hop artist to get a sponsor deal with Adidas. I'll pause it here. And in the 80s, you've seen a lot of hats like this. You see the Adidas on his feet. You see the big chains. It was really like starting out, so I think they didn't want to do too much. Just how they was dressing in the daily life. So now you see the transition when I'm going to the 90s. You'll see an even more relaxed look with the coming up the West Coast, because that was all East Coast. So coming to the West Coast and the gangster rap. So you have to give kind of like that image on. So I'll stop it right here. Like you see a lot of baseball caps, you see the all black, see the sneakers on, so it's real relaxed and chill and more like looser fitting. And then we go to the 2000s where it's going to be super loose fitting and more sporty after this ad. So yeah, when it comes to the 90s to the 2000s, it just everything got more baggy and you see more chains and you see more expressive stuff, more colors. You see in the 80s and 90s it was super dark, but then you'll see in this video. And then you stop here, you see you see the additions of like a more accessory. You see the headband, you see the jewelry, of course, and you see the more baggy style look instead of the close tight knit of it. So I'll fast forward more in the video. You see a lot of times that they have, you see the jewelry jerseys on and such, and then like it's funny how it evolves. It goes from super long, and then in the 2010s, you see everything got super skinny, as I'll show you in this video. So you see the most color in this. You see a lot of color. You see in early years, a lot of people didn't feel comfortable dancing or doing whatever because there was a super like macho gangster vibe to it. But in this one, you see the tight fit jeans. You see a lot of dancing, a lot of colors, more having fun. You see different glasses and stuff. So going to how it is now and then how it evolves to now, all the styles come back around. See, in the 80s, the jeans were more tight fitting. And then going to the 90s, it got bigger. Then 2000s, it was super big. And then going back to 2010s, they go back skinny. So now I would say coming into the new decade we're in now, I would say the jeans got back big. And then you see a lot of the going back to how the style was back then. So hip hop is just one big turning cycle. And you also see the changes in the music from the 80s to the 90s with more gangster rap. So you see like you're dressing a certain part for in the image. We go to the different videos. And then the 2000s, it was everything got bigger. Rap started becoming big with sports and everything. And then, yeah. So I'll show another video of something. I'll go back to this one because I feel like this is when the style of things was really like everybody was having more fun and like style became more prominent in hip hop. And then video for the 2000s that I'll play. I mean, where we are now, we see a lot more fashionable stuff. I'll play the Migos. After this ad. Alright, so this is the most current one yet. This thing was filmed a couple of months ago. And then as you can see the change in style, it adapted all the colors from the 2010s and then has the baggy jeans of the 2000s. But they incorporate their own style. You still see the jewelry, but then certain things you haven't seen. You see the black. They still incorporate the black from all the years, but you can see it's more like people doing their own thing instead of like portraying some type of image. Like you can't be in the 90s talking about gangster rap. And then also the changes in hair. You see locks now. You see more designer brands on them. So fashion became like, you probably couldn't wear these boots in the 80s or 90s, but now it's completely acceptable. You see a bunch of jewelry, as you can tell by his wrist, by the chains, and you see the grills. Like everything just becomes on 10 in 2020 because you can see all the things that came before them, and they can incorporate that into their own style. So yeah. And to top it all off, I think fashion and hip hop go hand in hand. It's a different way to express yourself and add on to whatever you're showing. Like, see, they got the orange background bouncing off the accessories with the orange. And yeah, it goes hand in hand. And I know for me, I ain't really got it on right now, but normally if I'm going out somewhere, then I'll incorporate my own style into however I'm feeling. And yeah, thank you for coming to my presentation. I'm Trey Carney. Thank you to all the audience members. And we out.